Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of our open mic program on KFFB 106.1 FM. We do have Congressman Tim Griffin with us right now. And Congressman, thanks so much for taking time and talking with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we need to talk about a couple of things. You're urging House Republican leaders to establish a select committee about the terrorist attack. Tell us about that.
My colleague, Congressman Frank Wolf of Virginia, has a bill that would establish a select committee, basically formalize what some of the other committees have been doing in terms of looking into Benghazi. You know, the more we learn about Benghazi, the more the situation raises additional questions and stinks, to be frank with you. We need to hold folks accountable. We need to get all the facts. We need to find out precisely what happened. And, every time there's some additional news on this, more questions are raised. So I'd like to see a more formal, although, as I indicated, at least one or two of the House committees are looking into this, but I'd like to see it formalized and have the Speaker put his stamp of approval on a select committee so that we can truly get some answers here and elevate this discussion. We had Americans die, and we need to find out what happened. Not only to make sure it never happens again, but let's hold some people accountable if some things were done improperly.
How do you feel that's going? Do you think that's going to happen?
There are a lot of members of Congress in the House and the Republican side pushing for this. What will actually happen, whether we'll actually get a select committee, I don't know. There are a lot of people that want it, but we're not there yet. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, it's been 51 days. We've been seeing this updated just about every day about Obama again invites healthcare reform ideas, but you still haven't had an answer from the letter that you sent. And you also say Obamacare hurts the most vulnerable workers. Talk about that for a moment.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, the president back in December indicated that he'd love to hear from people who have their own healthcare ideas that might improve our healthcare system. Well, Republicans in the House have a number of ideas. And I understand that President Obama, as long as he's president, is not going to sign any of our bills to repeal Obamacare. Although I would be frank with you, there's no one person who's done more to repeal Obamacare than President Obama himself, because he's waived so many portions of it for political purposes. But that aside, there are some ideas about health care that do not involve the repeal of Obamacare, which I certainly favor and have voted for numerous times. But there are some ideas that we can discuss with the president. So I joined with 33 Republicans back in December, wrote a letter to the president, said, hey, you want to talk about ideas? We got ideas. Let's expand the use of health savings accounts. Let's have competition across state lines for insurance companies, et cetera. And there's a whole list of ideas that we can talk about. And now I think it's been 51 days since we sent that letter. Zero response from the White House. And, it was funny. During the State of the Union, the president basically reiterated the same language, that, hey, I want to hear from people. Well, apparently he just wants to hear from people he agrees with. So we're going to find out if we can get his attention. We're doing a press release every day, just counting up the days. And until my term is over or until he has a discussion, we're going to keep doing that every day to remind people that the president's words don't always match his actions. And this is another example.
Also, you've got the momentum grows for the Rubio-Griffin Obamacare taxpayer bailout prevention legislation. Let's talk about that as well.
Well, there's something in the Obamacare law, Affordable Care Act. They call it a risk corridor. Risk corridors are legitimate ways of sort of equalizing within a functioning market. They're used in the Medicare Part D law, and there's a proper place for them. But unfortunately, the president has indicated by some statements that have come out of HHS. President's people, I think, see this provision as a way to bail out insurers if the market that they have created under Obamacare, or what they call a market, if the industry were to fail. I think they would look to this risk corridor provision, as it's called, not just to balance out, sort of help bring some stability so that some insurance companies that make more pay in and the ones that are losing take some. That's the intention. What the president, I think, would do if the industry hit rock bottom because of Obamacare is he'd use it to bail them out. And we're trying to stop that. so that we don't have a system where we not only have banks that are too big to fail, but we have insurance companies too big to fail, and the American taxpayer, hardworking Americans, have to end up paying for a bailout. We're against that. We're trying to stop it, and that's what my bill is all about in the House. Marco Rubio has the accompanying bill in the Senate. So it's been getting a lot of attention nationally by a lot of different writers, and so we're going to keep pushing it and see what happens.
We've been talking with Congressman Tim Griffin here on KFFB 106.1 FM. We'll have day number 2 coming up tomorrow. Join us.